Craig Engels is leaving the Union Athletics Club and Pete Julian. He's been with Julian since he graduated and left Ole Miss. He's going back to his college coach, Ryan Van Noy, who's not at Ole Miss anymore. He's down at Cal Poly. This is a latest bit of news in Engels' career. I feel like it's been pretty eventful the last couple of years. There was rumors and some comments after the Olympic trials in 2021 that he was perhaps thinking of retiring and just calling it a day. Came back last year, was hurt, never really got going, ran a 3:37 in the 1500 after the World Championships had already ended. It was in September, so it ended up being on a bit of a different schedule, but posted on Instagram, said, the reasoning for this is just a change of scenery. He says, my goal is to be the best American miler, enjoy all the adventure along the way. I think a change for me was necessary for this to be possible. Thanks his coach, thanks Donovan Brazier, Eric Jenkins, et cetera, et cetera. But your thoughts on Engels' move?
Yeah, well, again, looking back at his 2022 year, he was very active indoor season. He had one notable performance, I would say, was his 146-800, which he did in mid-February. But then when it came to championship or marquee type races, Millrose Games, he ran 343. Went 401 in the mile, 343 split, 401 in the mile, finishing 10th in the Millrose Games mile. Then he goes to U.S. Champs indoors, runs 341, gets 7th, way out of top 2 contention. So then he shuts down his season for a little bit, puts it on pause, and then comes back, runs a random 800 in May, skips USA's. Obviously, he's not at Worlds. Then, he ends his season with, a 337 1500 in Berlin.
Yeah.
Which, here's the thing. 337, well, that's actually not that bad. But, 337 is not what it's going to take anymore to be a finalist.
Yeah.
Or, make a team.
Sure.
Because a lot of people run 337. You look at, the college list, you see a lot of 337s on that list.
Mm-hmm.
4 or 5 years ago, it was a bunch of 339s. Now it's a bunch of 337s. So if you really want to separate yourself, you need to be a consistent 335 or better type runner. So even though he's showing he still can get around the track 4 times in an elite time, it's not the standard that he has for himself, which is trying to make teams.
Yeah. Engels is interesting. Obviously, he marches to the beat of his own drum. We know that. I think Pete Julian knew that. You got to give him an extra bit of latitude when you're dealing with someone like Engels, and it was working. 2016 narrowly misses the team in both the 8 and the 15. Remember when he was still at Ole Miss, 4th and 5th in those races. Then 2017, he just misses the team again. Finally gets on the team in 2019, makes the final. So you're thinking, all right, here's the momentum. It's gonna turn into a Olympic berth. Olympics get postponed. Then he gets 4th again at the Olympic trials. So he's made a team, but he has not made an Olympic team yet. And I think this is him trying to mount one last push to get there. It's crazy how fast a career goes. You go from your too early cycle, which was 2016 for him, to your peak cycle, which was 2021, to the one last shot cycle now, which is 2024.
He'll be 30 at the 2024 trials.
Right, and that's how fast it goes. You do not get that many chances to make Olympic teams. Now, World Championship teams are great as well, but everybody, if you ask them if you could choose between the two, you choose to make the Olympics.
Would you choose 5 World Championships teams versus 1 Olympic team?
No, I wouldn't. Not me personally, but if you're making money and communicating with the public, saying Olympian is worth more than 5, yes. But me personally, knowing what I know about track, no, I'd say obviously the person who had the 5 World Championship teams is better than the Olympic team. But I just think with Engels, the 1500 right now is so filled with parity in the U.S.
That's true.
I think he has a shot still, and this makes sense. Now, first step is he's got to get healthy. So a lot of times we see this move, it makes sense to go back to the college coach. He obviously knows Engels very well. That makes sense too, because Engels being the big personality that he is, you have a harder time believing it would work if they were with a brand new coach who didn't know him at all. I'm assuming he'll be around the college team, which will give him a little bit of excitement. He'll be out in California. he had training partners, obviously running with Donovan and stuff, but Donovan's an 800-meter guy. Eric Jenkins did the longer stuff, right? There was no natural, this guy is my training partner day in and day out. I think he's going to be fine. I think this is a good opportunity for him to hit reset. I mean, who do you feel better about? Nagoose, Hawker, Centro, Tier? Yeah, I guess you'd say Tier.
Jonathan Davis?
John Davis was tearing it up last year, but there's no sure things for the team next year except maybe Cooper Tier. But even Cooper Tier, he might just decide to run the 5,000 too.
It's true. Yeah, so Craig Engels had a 21st best time in the U.S. in the 1,500.
Yeah.
Can you name the person who was just ahead of him? Actually, no. Can you name the person who was just behind him?
Wow, you switched that.
Yes.
You're going to need to give me some time because I had already
He ran 3:37.43, April 15th at Mount Sac, college kid.
Oh.
3:37.43. Not at Mount Sac, at Brian Clay.
This is U.S.?
Yes.
College kid. I don't know.
I'm doing this for transition purposes. His name, Ryan Shoppy.
Oh.
Oklahoma State.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of Oklahoma State, they ran this weekend. Or they ran just now.
Okay, we weren't ready to transition.
Why weren't we ready? What else do you want to... Oh,
because you didn't answer the question.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to go into transition mode. I was like, this is great. See, Oklahoma State athlete right next to Craig Engels. Let's go into Big 12 conference. Did I screw it up? Should we start the podcast over?
No, it's great.
Should we start the clip over?
Keep going.
Reset the clip.
Clip's ruined. Go ahead.
Clip ruined.
Do you think Engels can make another team?
I do not.
I do.
You really do?
I do.
Gun to your head, you think he can make another team?
I think he can because of the reasons we just mentioned. There's no clear favorite to take one of those spots except for Tier. Except for
Nagoose.
Tier. Everybody else has question marks around them.
Okay, hold on.
Nagoose's progression hasn't exactly been a straight line.
He just ran 3:33 in September.
Yeah. I know.
He's good.
I know he's good. They're all good, but
he's going to make the team.
This isn't like
Cole Hawker almost got a medal at the Olympics.
Yeah, that was a couple years ago now. Went out in the first round.
Yeah, he was hurt.
I know. Engels was hurt last year too. I think he's got a shot. You're forgetting that the U.S. right now, men's 1,500, is still wide open. And even in a year where there's a lot of sure things and a lot of locks, it's a very unpredictable event.
Okay.
And experience pays. How old is he? He's only 28, you said? I think he's got a shot.
Okay, I'll give you this. I'm gonna go through the 20 people who ran faster than him.
Yeah.
And I'll say whether or not I can see a world where Craig Engels beats that person. Morgan Beatlescombe, yes. I see a world where Craig beats him. Colby Alexander, yes. I see a world where Craig beats him. Sean McGorty, yes.
You did top 20 here just to...
Well, Craig Engels is 21st. So I'm saying everyone that ran faster than him.
Yeah.
All right. Sean McGorty, yes. I see he can beat him. Hobbs Kessler, yes. I can see Engels beating Kessler. Reed Brown, yes. Abdi Haminur, yes. Christian Noble, yes. Paul Ryan, yes. Eric Holt, yes. Josh Thompson, yeah. I could see Craig Engels beating Josh Thompson.
Yeah.
Grant Fisher, he's not going to be in it, so it doesn't matter. Dave Ribich, yes. Johnny Gregoric, yes. So you're looking good with this argument, but this is where your argument loses steam.
Didn't Gregoric make the team last year? Okay.
But it was like I finished like 7th and I'm on the team.
Okay.
Cole Hawker, no. I do not see a world where Craig Engels beats Cole Hawker.
Close.
Cietti, yes. I see a world where he beats Cietti. Prakel, yes. Andrew Hunter, yes. Tier, I do not see a world where he beats Tier. Jonathan Davis, I don't see a world where he beats Jonathan. I don't see a world where he beats Jonathan Davis.
John Davis had a great season last year, but let's not turn him into 20.
He got second at he got second in the trials and followed up with a 3:33.
Yeah. That's great.
Okay,
but let's not talk about him being an unstoppable force.
Fine.
He didn't turn into Jakob Ingebrigtsen.
Okay, yes. Fine. I see a world.
So you named 3 people.
And then Nagoose. He does not beat Nagoose.
Okay.
I named 3 people. How many people make a team?
I know, but that's who you can see beating him. He just needs to upset him. You know what place Nagoose got last year at trials? 11th. Upsets happen too. Do you think you can make the final? Let me just say that. Do you think you can make a final USA's, Engels?
Yes.
Yeah. And then the cliche.
But they're changing. There's difference between making a final and getting top 3.
But the cliche fits in the 1500.
Everyone makes a final.
The cliche fits in the 1500, which is that you make the final, anything can happen.
I just think there's two.
You didn't have.
There's
John
3
Davis
people.
Second. They didn't have Gregoric making the team last year. The men's 1500 right now is vulnerable.
You
didn't even mention Centro. See, a better argument would have been Centro's going to come back and be motivated to beat his old teammate.
Okay, then there you go.
But you didn't make that argument. I did. I made that argument.
We should transfer to college now.
No, I think it's interesting to debate. I think a lot of this depends on what event tier does and the status of Hawker. If Hawker gets back to 2021 Hawker,
which he will,
you're right, then that spot is taken. But there's no guarantees he's going to do that just because he did it once.
There's more of a guarantee he's going to do that than Craig Engels gets back to 2017 Engels. What was the year he was really good? 17, 18?
Well, 19 he made the team.
19.
I mean, he's one of those people where if COVID doesn't push the Olympics back.
Why are we talking about COVID? COVID's over.
I'm just saying you're acting like it was a decade ago when the guy was good. He's been good recently.
I never said that. I never said it was a decade ago. I've only been watching a story for a decade.
That's right. All right. We can move on. You want to get to cross country.
Yeah, well,
Tampa Eagle says, Kevin, you're rarely wrong, but you're wrong about Craig.
Oh.
All right, we'll see.